get a ton of questions around what I think are stupid topics, but are so real to the person experiencing it. Things like, what email tool do you use to send email? Alex, can you look at this cold email that I've written, even though I haven't sent any out, and give me feedback before I go? Alex, should I sell as an agency or a freelance? All valid questions that I have answers for, and I've given answers for in the past. But the bigger thing I wanted to tackle is why you feel the need to ask those questions. Everyone's life is different, and more importantly, you don't need all the answers to get going with anything. Me and Jacob moved out to Hollywood after making 2 or 3 animations ourselves in Dallas, and we ended up making this cartoon with Pauly Shore. We also started a documentary film company, having not made any documentaries, and we attracted a team that could sell the movies for us and could make the documentaries, and had a good portfolio of services. I also built that website in 4 hours on a weekend. X27 is the same thing. I was working full-time at an agency, but that business started with me waking up one day and thinking, hey, I'm gonna send some cold emails. Let's see if I can sell something. That's the big thing. I sent the email. That's the big difference between where I am and where a lot of people get stuck, which is asking people questions, getting all this advice, and not putting in any work. And it's really frustrating to me. It's frustrating how much I feel I need to outline things. The questions I get are frustrating, just as much as if I look back at the questions I was sending when I was first starting out, just as much as I'm sure those questions frustrated the people I was emailing, which is why they didn't respond. And I also remember how much I didn't know that that was frustrating them. Take action is the answer to all of this advice. Should I use Yesware or Mailshake? Use whichever is easiest. I don't have $50 to pay for Mailshake to send emails with. Send using your Gmail account or use yet another mail merge. It's free. I get a question all the time. I don't have the perfect email script, Alex. Here's what I've written. Can you give me feedback on it? And to those, unless they book a consult, obviously book a consult with me, I will give you all the feedback in the world. But to those, I usually respond, send 100 emails and get back to me with the results. Open rates, response rates, meeting booked. Because I don't know everything. The only thing I can do is create a hypothesis. If I do something I think it'll happen, put that test out into the world, see the results, make changes, do it over and over again. And that's everything that I've been doing. If you go and you watch the Whoa Hello video, how we launched a fashion brand, which by the way, hoodie now available, whohello.com. This one's beast. I love it. Makes me look like I'm in a cult. If you look at that though, that started with a spark of an idea, different supplier, Teespring, a different web platform, and it just evolved over time. Lorelia Films has evolved as well. We've got loreliafilms.com and loreliapictures.com now, both just built on Squarespace. The new X27 site launched without a mobile site, and the mobile was broken for 2 or 3 weeks. And that's because I believe more in getting part of the solution out because the rest of it'll fix itself. I still firmly believe that by launching the X27 site with the broken mobile site, we got it fixed earlier than the whole site would have been launched if we had waited. Meaning that X27 site could have dragged on for 6 or 8 months, but because we forced it to be released and the public was seeing it and complaining about it, we got it fixed quicker. You don't need all the answers. You don't need to ask experts for advice. In fact, if you get to a point where you're performing at a high level, you almost don't need the expert at all. I know for me, I'm not watching business videos. I'm not watching Grant Cardone. I'm not watching Doug Cunnington. You know, I'm not watching any of these dudes. Owen Video. They're great. And even these videos that I'm doing are great. Watch sometimes, like if you need inspiration or whatever. But all of my answers that I'm giving are just based on my experience. It's just based on me going out and doing stuff. If you go and do the stuff and you stop putting it off, you will have the answers too. Go back to my videos from 4.5 years ago. The Make Money Week thing. I just hustled my ass off to make $100, and that felt so good at the time to make $100. And now I make $100 like it's nothing. I don't even feel $100. And it's actually scary how little I feel it sometimes. But it is all a process with everything. And so you can sit around and you can ask questions to experts all day about specific things. Should I choose this tool over this tool? Or should I sell to this market or this market? And the answer to all of those are, it depends. Test it yourself. And if you do enough testing, you will succeed, in quotes. Not that I'm the perfect example of like a successful human being, but I am pretty happy with my life most of the time. Like right now, I'd say I'm like a 7 out of 10 happiness. And it's through testing. So that's it. You know, you just got to go out. You don't need all the answers. That's the point I'm trying to get across in this video. You don't need all the answers. Just do it. So here's your homework. That thing you've been putting off, 1, go do one part of it, meaning boil it down. So let's say you've been putting off sending 100 cold emails. Send 1 cold email. Putting together a slide deck for investors. Make 1 slide. You've put off eating healthy. Go eat 1 healthy meal. Then leave a comment here after you've done it and tell me what you did. It's that simple. If you like this type of content, I'd love if you would share it with a friend. Give it a like I said before, leave a comment. If you want the proposal we use at Lorelia to sell documentaries, that is over at experiment27.com/proposal. If you want the questions we use on call number 1 to qualify new clients, that's experiment27.com/discovery. And if you want more enterprise clients for your agency, you want to meet with billion-dollar brands, that is over at experiment27.com. I'm Alex Berman. Thanks for watching.